Did you see the news about your boy Shane McMahon?
What about it?
Vince McMahon is considering his son Shane as the new head of WWE Raw.
You talking over Bruce Pritchard?
Yes.
Actually, I might actually not like it. I might actually want to see how that goes.
Because Paul
Heyman. I feel like Shane is probably one of the only ones he can't push around. It's not a yes man.
No. Shane's not a yes man because he knows his dad, and he like getting under his dad's skin.
Not that. I'm saying if Vince is attached to something, like Bruce Pritchard is not going to say I strongly disagree with this because he's probably going to be afraid of losing his job. Yeah. I feel like Shane would be like, nah, I don't like it. Vince said, you sure you don't like it? You can get fired. I'm pretty sure Shane's like, okay, fire me. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. You're not going to make me like it. I don't know. I just feel like that's how Shane would be. Like, Shane would go at him for his ideas.
I think it would too. Here's the thing with that is, well, first of all, I think a lot of things will be better than Bruce Pritchard, because one thing about Shane McMahon is I feel as though Shane McMahon is down to earth. He ain't a yes man like Bruce Pritchard. He's not all about the extreme shit like Paul Heyman, and he's not like his dad, who is clearly not in this time frame. Like Shane uses Twitter and IG and stuff like that. So Shane
one of the funniest running gags ever.
Which one?
It's every time somebody's birthday, Vince McMahon puts a picture of them and writes a heartfelt message, and every time I look under the comments just for this one comment of him just saying, "Happy birthday, Shane McMahon." And everybody else on Twitter get this is one of the most decorated, best superstars in the era, and these are one of the most greatest persons, the good personality, and then Shane McMahon is just, "Happy birthday, Shane McMahon." This is every time. Every time. Even people be commenting I only came here for this.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Shane has, he got somebody buy his Jordans every day. Shane has that more versed in what's going on now mindset. However, Shane McMahon, he has, how people say Shane, people got hits and misses. Mm-hmm. Shane got misses and hits. Mm-hmm. Because there are a couple ideas that Shane McMahon had that don't.
If Raw Underground is Shane McMahon's idea, then that's a miss for me.
Well, yeah. Now here's the thing. This is what I mean by misses and hits, because Raw Underground, the concept, is a hit, mm-hmm. but the miss is first of all, execution, and that's the thing. Shane has these good ideas, but the execution don't always be there. Remember when they did the whole time machine and the New Day went back?
Oh, yeah.
That was a Shane McMahon idea. And I'm like, okay, if you want to get Kofi back to his old, Jamaican Kofi style thing, that's fine. But the time machine thing didn't work. He had an idea that was okay, let's see how this work out. And then the execution was trash. The problem with Raw Underground is it's too pretty. And what I mean by too pretty is it's too much production in Raw Underground. Let me ask you a question, Pro. If you're looking at an underground fight club, right, that is supposed to be on the hush hush, why do I have camera cuts?
Yeah.
Why do I have camera A, B, and C in this underground establishment with me? Why is it that when Shane opened the door, all this smoke came out? And it was just like he opened the door like he had the Smooth Criminal video and walked in there to Raw Underground. I'm like, it's too much production. And first of all, you can tell obviously that's clearly in the hallway. I'm like, you need to be grimy. In my personal opinion, this is what I would do for Raw Underground. If you're gonna have all them people there, and you own a performance center, why not either surround the ring with cars, or put a gate up like they do in UFC 4 and had the backyard fights, and you have everybody out there cheering them on, and then they fight within that gate and they fight outside, and it's one camera. shaky cam a little bit, and it's like it looks like it's a very underground. Like it's not even supposed to be. It's not legal.
Or do you think they could do it like that and then have like a quote unquote a helicopter footage, make it look like they just found them fighting?
Yeah, see, something like that would be more interesting to look at. And if they just had one camera on the ground,
make it look more chaotic.
Exactly, like it's like it's a street thing that's not even supposed to be here. Because, and if it's on the outside, like, cause the way it looks now is like, why is WWE hosting this shit? They're putting money into this thing. And that's the problem. It looks too good. Like, the production is great. The camera is great. There's no there's no, like, 720p footage. It's all 4K max foot. Like, it shouldn't be that for a underground fight club. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
it should be kind of like a little grainy and rough. Yeah.
That's the issue that sometimes a lot of Shane McMahon ideas has. It has a good idea, but the concept and the execution is just not there. And I'm like, if you're gonna take over Raw, like, I could see Shane having like big plans for the Hurt Business, but I can also see Shane ruining the Hurt Business before he makes it even better. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? I can see him doing that kind of stuff. But once again, I'm not saying Shane McMahon don't have any good ideas. And I'm not saying that because he can bring something to the table that Bruce Pritchard can't. And that's, what's going on. I mean, not saying Bruce Pritchard don't see what's going on in the real world, but Shane McMahon had that keen eye on what you guys need to talk about. And also, he can just, bring something more modern to the wrestling. But the thing is, it has to be executed right. And once again, if wrestling fans want to watch UFC or MMA, they will just watch UFC or MMA. They don't want to watch Raw Underground to see that.
They don't want to see nobody do no fake MMA.
Exactly, to the point where it's like this. Okay, in my personal opinion, the best match I've seen on Raw Underground was between Dolph Ziggler and and Eric. Because Dolph is not a kickboxer, but he's an amateur wrestler. So what happened was he out wrestled Eric and put him in a sleeper hole, and he passed him out. That was cool. Back when it was shit. What was that other fight that I like? The Brazilian guy who does the capoeira, the bald guy who be in
Roar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a good match in one of them battlegrounds too, because these are things that these guys legit do. It's like, okay, if Ken Shamrock was still around, if Steve Blackman was still around, this would been the shit for them. And I would love to see them in there. But it's kind of, remember when Shayna Baszler got up there, and then Homegirl got up there, I'm like, sweetheart, you were clearly not even dressed for this. Like, why are you even in here? Shayna Baszler pushed her down, and then 3 women tried to jump her. I'm like, no, that's not how it would be. And then Shane keeps hosting this thing every single night, and I'm just like, it's getting to be too production type thing. So I'm kind of hoping that they can kind of like iron his ideas out, because according to what I know, it's like Shane has been doing a lot. Like, he since the loss of Kevin Owens, like, he is actually part of the reason, played a key role in the reason of the Royal Rumble this past year with Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
And I love that Royal Rumble. It made sense. Brock Lesnar took on people that he never took on before, but he got them out in the first half. Even though the only issue I had with that Royal Rumble is Kofi should have been the one to give him a low blow, because look what happened to Ricochet after that. There was nothing else to go with Ricochet after that. Brock squashed Ricochet. But the Kofi should have won that got the low blow, and then Drew McIntyre eliminated him, because that would have got Kofi his heat back, in my opinion. But other than that,
he still ain't get that heat back.
He still didn't. But I'm saying, but they used it on Ricochet because they had a match coming. I'm like, but Kofi should have been the one to take that, give Brock that low blow spot and for Drew McIntyre to eliminate him so he can get his heat. But with that being said, he did have some input, and like I said, they keep saying key role in that Royal Rumble. So that is, some good news. And of course, he works right there in a gorilla position with his dad anyway. So his dad, right there. When his dad sees something, he's like, no, Dad, they wouldn't do that like they would today. And Vince is desperate, whether he wants to admit it or not, especially with the ratings going down like they are. And now since you got this Thunderdome, people are actually watching, and you get to see their reactions. And if you may not like the reactions you're going to see on the first couple episodes, if you don't bring something quality.
Yeah, then that's when the people gonna get bored and just start showing everything.
Exactly.
This show sucks. Let me just show.
Exactly. And like I said, so Vince is opening up because they had an article here that's saying that the whole when Shane had pitched this Raw Underground for years to Vince, and Vince he said we should try to purchase UFC or MMA back in 2009, and Vince didn't like the idea. So, but now he actually got the Raw Underground on there. So it just shows some kinds of, at least if it's Shane McMahon, it'll be some kind of improvement. Triple H is already doing NXT, so you can't promote that game. And then they're talking about just keeping Bruce Pritchard over at SmackDown. So yeah. So I like I said, I think with Shane being who he is, and Shane being more into 2020's way of life, I think he'll bring some decent ideas, long as they just iron them out and they don't go too far over the board to the point it's like, my God, I can tell this is a Shane McMahon thing. Yeah, he had a good idea, but he's not executing it right. So
is that like Vince had to say, oh yeah, you can tell this is the Vince thing?
Oh, it's like this: when you see farting or defecation or say vomiting or all that kind of stuff like that, I'm like, Vince got his fingerprints all over this angle. There are just certain things that you see that you're like, okay, clearly that's Eric Bischoff. Like, I'll be honest with you, if Eric Bischoff still worked for SmackDown, I'm thinking Retribution is all his idea. Dead serious. Because Retribution is acting like an Eric Bischoff idea.
What about Vince Russo?
On the pole? Or like if you can tell Vince. Remember when they did the Goldberg versus Scott Steiner? You didn't follow the contract. You didn't follow the set plan. So now it's going to be a match where there is going to be no predetermined outcome. What? That's a Vince Russo idea. And when the Brawl for All, when you see these ideas and you're like, oh, that's clearly a Vince Russo idea.
The last rights match.
That's all. Yeah, Vince really.
San Francisco 49ers match.
Vince Russo. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I like the match stuff, but you got to hang the belt back up at King of the Mountain in the TNA. Vince Russo. Well, if you got to keep taking it down, bro, why don't we just hang the belt back up? You know what I'm saying? That's Vince Russo. So, certain promoters and certain people got their stamp on certain things, so you can tell when certain things are certain things. Like Braun Strowman spearing Bobby Lashley do the stage, that's a Paul Heyman thing. Mm-hmm. The way he started the show, that's what Paul Heyman would do. Yep. Yeah, that's what. So no matter what, Shane, Bruce Pritchard, Paul Heyman, Eric Bischoff, Jim Cornette or Vince Russo, they all have, and Vince McMahon, they all have their stamp on how their wrestling will look. And when they do it, you know it when you see it. You know what I'm saying? You just know it when you see it. And so, like, when you see, like, Raw Underground, when I seen that, and I was just like, that's a Shane McMahon idea. And guess who came back to host it? Shane McMahon. And I was right. That's a Shane McMahon idea.